welding glass out of a standard welding helmet. As you can see, I've secured it to the front of my video camera using a couple of rubber bands. This video camera is a Canon Legria FS200. It has a 41x optical zoom. The digital zoom is turned off. Attempting to video the sun directly without any sort of protective glass in front of the camera is likely to cause damage to the optic chip in the camera. As you can see, it's still possible to see scenery through the dark tinted glass. Here we can even see the clouds. If you look carefully, you'll see a bird flying past. It was one of those days with small patches of cloud passing across in front of the sun fairly regularly. Here we can see the sun emerging from behind a few smaller clouds as I slowly zoom up on it. And then I got lost in the glare. Here we are zoomed right into the sun with a full 41x optical zoom. Here is a still grabbed off the video. You can see a couple of small sunspots here. The first one is at about 10 o'clock position near the edge of the sun. The second one is near the centre of the sun. You can see me changing the exposure setting on the camera. This is why the sun appears to change from green to white, and this is why the camera is shaking. Although it's on a tripod, when you're zoomed in fully, any vibration of the camera will be magnified. When filming distant objects like the sun or the moon, it's best to set your camera to manual focus and set the focus to infinity. I found that I had best results when I set the exposure to a low setting. So once again, we can see here that we can still see the scenery and we can see the clouds. As I slowly move the camera up and aim it towards the sun, we can see the glare of the sun as the camera is adjusting itself. But one thing that we don't see is Nibiru. We don't see any strange objects around the sun, and given that we can see clouds and other scenery, I'm sure that if there was anything to be seen, we would be able to see it here. But all we see is the sun and nothing else. I have seen lots of videos and pictures of all sorts of things, including lens flare and reflections of the sun within the camera lens, and pictures of the moon rising at the Antarctic, which was supposed to be Nibiru, but all of these videos have been debunked. Anybody can try this. Just get a bit of welding glass and put it over your camera, and you can check for yourself. Here is a still photo that I took of the sun. It looks pretty big, doesn't it, with all the glare? But how big is it if we have a look at the sun just through the welding glass? It doesn't look so big now, does it? In fact, the sun and the moon are only half a degree across as seen from the Earth. Here is a side-by-side comparison. There are some YouTube videos out there that appear to show a black object in front of the sun, but this is just caused by the optic chip in the camera being overloaded by the intense light from the sun. And here is the moon as taken through the video camera, obviously without the welding glass in front of it. Quite good results, I thought, considering that this isn't taken through a telescope. You can see the moon slowly moving from right to left. That's because of the rotation of the Earth. Well, as you can see, there's nothing unusual next to the sun. There's no Nibiru hiding behind the sun or next to it. No strange lights, just the sun. Check us out on Facebook. Look for Vortex, Voices of Reason to Explain X. You'll see a link in the description box. Thank you for watching. This is a piece of tinted welding glass out of a standard welding helmet. As you can see, I've secured it to the front of my video camera using a couple of rubber bands. This video camera is a Canon Legria FS200. It has a 41x optical zoom. The digital zoom is turned off. Attempting to video the sun directly without any sort of protective glass in front of the camera is likely to cause damage to the optic chip in the camera. As you can see, it's still possible